This mutation is called War is Hell, and it is being played on Void Thrashing. We have 3 mutators active, we have Lava Burst, we have Scorched Earth, and we have Evasive Maneuvers. So, let us quickly have a look at the masteries. We have Nova, who is going to be doing this weekly mutation, and we've actually been having a really nice, pleasant set of weekly mutations, which have been really simple. So this one as well, as a standard, is going to be a mutation solo done by Nova. So Nova has gone to 30 points to the airstrike cost reduction, 30 points into primary ability improvement, and then a 25-5 split into the Nova energy regeneration, and 5 points into the unit HP regeneration mastery. So Nova has picked the Soldier of Fortune Prestige. So we'll see what the tech choice here for Nova is, and this will basically determine what the play is for Nova's throughout the rest of the game for Nova. So let's talk about these mutators a little bit. We have Lava Burst. You can see here these little bits of Lava Burst that are just coming up in there. They deal a lot of damage to heroic units, so be careful when you are playing up against Lava Burst. Regular units do take damage as well, but heroic units, especially fat heroic units like the Hyperion for Raynor, that one will melt very, very quickly if they stand underneath the Lava Burst. And because they have a kind of a large footprint, it's a little bit more difficult to dodge the Lava Burst with the Hyperion, so do pay attention to that. Scorched Earth basically sets the ground on fire when you kill enemy units, and if you are dealing with air units, then the damage does not get applied to the air units. So air units here are really effective, and you can see that Nova has already picked the Starport as her primary tech choice here. So we're repositioning it just to add the tech lab. And finally we have the Evasive Maneuvers one, and this one's probably more annoying than it is anything else, is that it prevents you from actually being effective with your splash damage. Evasive Maneuvers has this ability where the enemy units will jump back, and if you're playing a commander like Alarak, or even the commander like Artanis who uses the Solar Bombardment, you can usually struggle with killing off enemy units through the Evasive Maneuvers. Nova has already built a wall here, and what Nova's plan is to just stall the attack wave until Nova comes out, and Nova will be out in about 15 seconds, so should not be too bad. These Zealots are going to start attacking these structures here. The Zealots will evenly spread along here. This one Zealot is somewhat lost, doesn't know where he wants to go. Yeah, he is somewhat confused. Actually, this is kind of funny that you can see the Zealot doing this thing. This is part of the path blocking technique as well. Like, you'll see Propagators do this and Void Reanimators do this if you were attempting to path block. There is a video on Starcraft2Co.com's YouTube channel, or on this YouTube channel, which will show you how to path block Propagators and Void Reanimators, and you'll see the same kind of behavior of the unit just ping-ponging between two places. Nova has switched over into Assault mode, and she is going to delete all the enemy units in this area here. So now, Nova has to go clear out this Void Thrasher. Nova will be able to do this solo if she needs to, as she needs to wait for the rest of her income to get stored. Nova is working away on the rocks right now, and she's going to be clearing her 1 gas rocks and 1 central rocks here. And I think we have another railgun turret as well that will be moving in to clear that other rock as well. That is actually really important. Nova does need to get her gas rocks up. Now, one option is she could just let the Void Thrasher just wail on the Sergeant Hammer's Fortress for a little bit, but I think maybe the plan is to try and do a full solo. I don't think it's possible to get. I don't think Nova's plan is to do a perfect Sergeant Hammer's Fortress, but one of the things you can do is just let the Void Thrasher attack the fortress, at least in the early stage of the game. Just get yourself a bit of a foothold, and then you can deal with the rest of the mission in your leisure. So Nova now is going to be wrapping around, and she will be trying to push into this enemy camp. But there is another attack wave on the way, and we'll see how Nova will be dealing with this. We have salvage on the railgun turrets, and now Nova has her expansion, and there are already 9 workers that have been long-distance mining basically over to her main, so she will be able to pretty much set up her economy almost perfectly, actually. 2 more workers and she's pretty much done, and these in addition to the workers that were transferred along here. So Zealots are going to be moving in. Nova already ready. She is going to start sniping away at a couple of these stalkers, and Nova has already has pretty much the most important upgrades for her. She has the Caduceus reactor, she has the Ghost Visor, she has the operational efficiency, and she has both her Liberator upgrades. So all Nova has to do now is make sure that she is able to clear the rest of these structures here. So we have 1 more railgun turret, and we have queued up double Raven upgrades here that are coming out as well for Nova. And now Nova's first set of Liberators are out and they are good to go. So Nova now is just going to slowly start picking away here. This one Void Ray is somewhat upset, and Nova is just going to properly snipe that Void Ray. And now what she's going to do, she's just going to eat forward slowly but surely, and slowly start taking out this thing. And now we have a sabotage drone that is going to be used here, and I think they may be coupled with a Griffin airstrike as well. Yep, there we go, Griffin airstrike. What I'm probably going to do to make your life a little bit easier is I'm going to switch over to Raynor's point of view, and that way the minimap will not disappear just randomly every single time Nova uses the airstrike. Airstrikes are really important for Nova. Like, the efficiency that airstrikes have, the amount of damage that they are able to do. You can see their evasive maneuvers. That Stalker did not actually blink. It just got evasive maneuvered out of the way. Now, one of the things you can take to your advantage, especially if you have high damage units, is that if you one-shot the unit, obviously evasive maneuvers does not apply. So we have another Griffin airstrike here, and the Griffin airstrike is going to be wailing on these things. Yeah, that Void Thrasher is already starting to deal a little bit of damage to Sergeant Hammer's Fortress. Nova getting aggroed by a Void Ray and standing a little bit too close to the Lava Burst. And one thing you have to pay attention to is that the Lava Burst will try and spawn where your units are. The positioning of the Lava Burst is random to a certain extent, but it does favor where your units are. Another attack wave over here. Very nice airstrike, and 2 more units left, and double snipe pretty much clears out the rest of this attack wave. All that is left now is one Void Thrasher. These Liberators, again, now have to navigate their way around here, and these Liberators will be able to deal some more damage to this Void Thrasher. This Void Thrasher will end up going down as well. And you can see here the impact on the Scorched Earth. It's just being a little bit of a problem for Nova, but as if you're dealing with the air units, like Nova's air army is not really affected by that. It's just the Nova hero unit that is somewhat bothered by the Scorched Earth. And we have Raynor that is chilling over here, just patrolling, having a look around, giving his SCV some exercise. You know, the Raynor is known to care about his men, and he provides them with a good healthcare plan. So Ravens already dropped for Nova, and these Ravens are just there to heal up any random ship damage. And we're going to start harassing a little bit on this enemy camp, just slowly sniping away pretty much everything there. You see, there. That is the evasive maneuvers buff here. Already the Liberators have sieged up, and I think the Void Ray might be slightly out of range of Nova. Nova was trying to pick off that Void Ray, but that Void Ray has decided that that would be a huge mistake and move out of the way. And now some new sieges up here, and now that one more Void Ray is still somewhat upset with Nova. Nova's trying to get that Void Ray, but some of this ever so slightly out of range. Finally picks out that Void Ray, and now ready to go. And the one thing also, I think what I should also do is mention like commanders that might be good on weekly mutations. If there is a weekly mutation solo, to be honest, this mutation isn't particularly difficult. Obviously, you want a commander who has strong air units and strong air presence that is not really affected by the lava burst. So you know, a commander like Stetman, especially if you're playing P2, you could probably get away with just a hero solo. Zeratul, obviously never a bad choice with the cannons. So you have a few options here, but because this mutation isn't particularly difficult, I think pretty much any commander can do this as long as you're just wary of the lava burst and the Scorched Earth here. You see these Liberators are just a little bit too close, and just see how much damage these Liberators are taking just because they moved a little bit closer. And the attack wave is making its way as well towards Nova's base, and Nova has to try and take out these Void Thrashers. And here, you see just how quickly Nova melted over there? She just dodged that lava burst for less than 1 second and has just gone completely melted. And airstrike over here, that should take out all the immortals, and that one Stalker ends up blinking across through the evasive maneuvers buff and takes out the railgun turret. Nova still has to try and deal with this last Void Thrasher, and it will probably be more efficient for her to clear out this Void Thrasher before she moves over here and deals with the rest of these units. But she has dropped in a couple of Liberators here. These Liberators will be able to clean this out. The SCV is just walking past Amon's forces here, and finally this Liberator will clean out that Stalker. You have to be very careful because wall-ins do not really work against the evasive maneuvers. The evasive maneuvers buff can cause them to blink towards your army sometimes, and sometimes away from your army, and sometimes they will inevitably just jump across the wall, and then you end up having the units harassing you. So just be careful a little bit with the evasive maneuvers buff. So Nova is now getting ready. She seems to have been walled off by the lava burst here, which is somewhat problematic, but in due time the lava burst will disappear and Nova will be ready to go. So she's going to be moving in now, and she probably has the nuke also ready, and she'll probably use that to try and weaken the front area of this base. The forward area of enemy bases are always much more well entrenched than the back, so nobody's just gonna start off just by softening some of these enemy forces up. These Liberators are dealing some damage here, but Nova, again, these things are just blinking away. Evasive maneuvers gets really annoying. There is a lava burst here as well. One thing to also know about lava burst is that it does give you a little bit of a notification. You can see there's a little bit of some steam here that comes up. So, you know, the lava burst don't just come shooting out of the ground randomly and just smoking your army. Like, it does give you a little bit of a notification here. Nova looks like she will be ignoring this bonus objective, which is, I guess, okay. Maybe doing a bit of a solo here. And I want to encourage people, you know, to try and do mutation solos and try and do, you know, special builds and like submit them to weekly mutation casts. If you see a weekly mutation cast on Starcraft2club.com that is marked yellow and you still want to do a hero solo, you know, you can go for it. Try and do a solo run or try and do a hero solo run or a meme build. You know, I do like to cast games where people use unique strategies or, you know, demonstrate really high levels of skill by going for solos and stuff like that. But solos are a lot more difficult than people give credit for. So Liberators slowly starting to work their way through. Nova already has her nuke ready, so she has to wait for a little bit. And I think what she wants to do here is drop another airstrike near the northern side. Maybe there might be an airstrike right through the middle here, and that should take off at least some more of these enemies here. So yes, that was a nice airstrike right down the middle. That is pretty much all the enemy defenders on the front line gone. So I think all Nova has to do now is deal with the hybrid dominators that might be here chilling over here. So Nova getting a little bit focused far down. Defensive drone gets used as well to try and keep Nova alive. Losing Nova now would be somewhat unfortunate, but Nova has enough resources as well to instantly respawn, so it shouldn't be too terrible for Nova. But it's like slowly poking in, just surgically removing some of these annoying units here. So down goes the photon cannon, down goes the pylon. And now Nova is just going to be chilling over here right now. Another Griffin airstrike as well being used. Again, sabotage drone used to get vision. And now the Void Thrashers have spawned. So this first Void Thrasher is pretty much going to end up dying all instantly. And we have a carrier that has randomly aggro railgun turn. Now we have a nuke being dropped on top of these two hybrid dominants. These two hybrid dominants are going to be very upset with Nova. They will cast her ability. And I think Nova might end up surviving, actually. Double Plasma Blast on Nova and gets saved by the defensive drone here. Another airstrike is dropped onto these hybrid dominators. These hybrid dominators are going to try and attack Nova, but Nova now is in assault mode. You can use your blink shields to keep yourself alive as Nova if you're up against a hybrid dominator. The shields you get from the hybrid from the blinks actually make you allow you to survive a hybrid dominator plasma blast. And that's something else you can also utilize. 3 Void Thrashers are down. One last one over there. There is a wall of lava bursts standing in the way, but Nova is able to get to that Void Thrasher slightly out of range, but that is the that is the last Void Thrasher cleared before the attack wave even starts pounding Raynor, and that is GG.